Welcome to the Mountain Dude Podcast, brought to you by Initial Ascent, where we share stories of grit, determination, and the relentless pursuit of growth. This is a space where backcountry hunting meets the deeper lessons of life. Success born from struggle and the art of carrying heavy loads more comfortably, both physically and metaphorically, through faith and perseverance. Join us as we explore the paths that shape us, celebrate victories big and small, and fuel our journey with hope and tenacity. This is the Mountain Dude Podcast, where we climb higher together.
Well, I'm glad you're back at the table.
How about that?
No sock.
No sock. Calf is good.
Good.
Yep. Got a bionic neck.
Yeah, bionic neck.
At least we hope.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, it's good to have you back.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Pain-free, right? I mean,
I just took some more meds, so I'm doing pretty good.
You should have passed those around. This podcast would have got real entertaining.
It might.
Oh, man.
No, yeah, I'm doing pretty good on the pain. Doing pretty good.
That is great.
Well, this is a recap, just kind of an in-depth in the story behind my 2024 elk hunt. For those that don't know it, at this point, there will be a film on the Vortex Nation YouTube channel that's been launched. It'll launch the 19th. It's an awesome film. I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's incredible. It really is special. But that, man, there were some really cool things that came from that hunt that I want to talk about. It was a controlled hunt. So it's not a tag that you can get every year.
Right.
God kind of gave me a cool opportunity to experience some really cool things. And we'll get into it, but I don't even think that tag was for me. I think it was for somebody else.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was special. And this whole thing started like, I can remember it was at the Western Hunt Expo in 2023. No, it's 2024. It's that same year. It was like 6 months before. I went to dinner with Will Weber and
Iron Will.
Yeah. And that's where I actually met Clint. And so we didn't know each other all that long. But it shaped into something cool. But before we get into it, let's pray.
Yeah.
Joe, do you mind?
Sure, I'd love to. Dear Heavenly Father, just thank you again for giving us the opportunity to sit here, talk about things that we love, hopefully impact those in a positive way. Lord, just continue to give Chris guidance and direction as he leads our podcast here, and he's doing such an amazing job. We just thank you for that. We thank you for bringing him into our lives. We thank you for our audience. We thank you for our customers, and we thank you for you. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Yeah, so I meet Clint going to dinner, and he's showing us this incredible film that he's done and some awesome cinematic footage of a bull, and he's like, oh, yeah, this is what I do for a living. And I'm like, man, if I ever drew a really cool elk tag, I'd have to call you. He's like, dude, you should. And it was like we were just best friends essentially right off the bat. Just a good old boy.
He's such a good dude.
He's as good as they come, man. Salt of the earth. And I ended up putting in for the tag that I was telling him, if I ever draw this tag or another tag, I'd have to call you. Like, this would be so cool. And he's like, dude, do it. And then sure enough, I put in for that tag because I started Dirt Bros and was like, I don't want to take any time off on this is a hard tag to draw. And then, I draw that tag. And I remember Matt and I were on a job and I was just about to take like a load of road mix out or something. And the Fish and Game website pulls up and I lost it, man. I ran into the backyard and I'm like, Matt. I'm telling him and he's stoked. And he's like, you should text Clint. I'm like, I don't think he meant that. He's like, text him. And I shot Clint a text and he said, I blocked out such and such dates. I'll be there. I'm like, whoa. Like, I don't know, dude. Are you sure? Yeah. And my whole thought was like, oh, this would be cool. Let's make this something that my kid can watch someday. Like, yeah, that'll be cool. And then I watch more of Clint's content. I'm like, oh, this guy might be the best in the industry.
Yeah.
Right now.
He's
going to be really special. And we did a couple episodes with Clint. So the audience wants to go check that out. They're amazing episodes, and Clint talks about how he got started and kind of his method.
Exactly. And it's a little bit different.
It is.
and you get to know Clint a little bit in those episodes. So yeah, Clint's the salt of the earth, man. But that's kind of how this whole thing started. And then when you draw a tag like that, now the scouting begins.
Yeah. So when you draw a tag like that, like you say, the scouting begins. I mean, you don't want to just roll up in there on opening day and just see what you can find. No. When did you start your scouting?
Pretty quickly. So this is some country that I know fairly well anyways, but I mean, August is too late in my eyes at that point. Like, I'm already covering country, more so in July, trying to figure out, because this is not a September hunt. Like, we're into October, into the later season, right?
It's a rifle hunt.
Exactly. It's a rifle elk hunt after post rut. I have experienced second rut activity in there, and you will see some of that in the film. It gets absolutely can go bonkers, but most of the time this is a post rut scenario. But anyways, so my July scouting is essentially figuring out country. Like, a lot of July, I'm trying to figure out roads, different access points, really learn the terrain, and tons of e-scouting at that point. And then when you draw a tag that's not easily drawable and it has high level trophy potential, like, that's when now I'm going to start picking apart bulls, and that starts as soon as we start seeing bulls with potential, and that started in July. Early July, like before the 4th of July, I was seeing bulls in the velvet.
I remember you sending me different videos of this bull, that bull.
Yep.
You saw a lot of bulls, big bulls.
Yeah.
Early on.
Do you have a number? Like, a ballpark of how many bulls that you laid eyes on before opening day?
Before opening day? Oh gosh, I don't know. It's way north of 200.
Golly.
Like, probably. Maybe close to double it. And some of these bulls I probably saw more than I did. I know I did see more than once. But yeah, a lot of bulls. Like, there's a certain glassing point where you can't score bulls from, but you can see bulls, and you can hear bulls around you, but you can see like up to 4.5, 5 miles from a certain point. And so I can see and tell, like, okay, that bull's got a great frame. Throw a pin on it on go hunt. Like, yeah, let's get into a different area, get some eyes on him. Yeah, there's days where you could see 40, 50 bulls pretty easily in an evening glassing session.
And the beauty of it was you were able to go out to, one, it's in our home state, right? Yep. But two, you were able to go out multiple times during a week.
Yep. Spend time out there.
You spend a ton of time.
It pays to be your own boss.
Yeah.
You know, you can zip out and make the drive to places and spend time in that country. And shout out to my wife, because she held down the fort, and I spent a lot of time out there. And the cool part was I took her and Kai to experience that a little bit too. Like, it's cool. That's special.
I mean, as I think about it, back to what you kind of talked about, why you wanted to film this was to create an experience that you can share with your kids, down the road. And it's pretty cool how much he got to be involved in it.
So much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is going to be special.
Yeah.
That's going to be super special.
That's what the whole point, like, the whole film turned into. Like, the title of it is Late Season Legacy. Like, this is what I grew up doing. Like, my dad was an elk hunter. That's what we did. I grew up on a farm. We couldn't hunt August, September, even October, really. Like, growing up, you had to harvest. And so I can remember always thinking, like, as I got to that middle school, high school age, I'm like, man, I want to bow hunt someday so I can hear elk bugle. But I didn't experience that as a kid. Like, I can remember a couple times Dad would have taken us out, like, because we worked Monday through Saturday all the time. We always took Sundays off. That was just what my dad believed. But, like, Saturday night, we'd zip up to the hills sometimes and sleep in the pickup and then listen to bulls bugle. Like, I didn't experience that during a hunting season. But I've been hunting elk for, I think the legal age when I was that age was 12. So I'm 29 now. I'm 17 years I have hunted elk. And I don't know that I've missed an elk season. Like, we hunted elk late. That's what we did. We'd harvest all fall and work. And I was playing high school sports. And then we would take 8 to 9 days and go on a late season elk hunt. And it was always cold. There was always snow. And so that, like, just kind of coming full circle for a tag like this was so cool. So that's what the whole thing with the film was. Like, it's about my family's legacy. Like, we're elk hunters.
So were you guys, on the scouting side of it, or were you particularly, were you mostly doing scouting from the road? Were you going on a side-by-side? Were you backpacking in?
All the above.
Kind of all the above.
Yeah. I try to, like, my strategy. So what I grew up doing hunting wise was we hunted from a pickup. We set up a big base camp. My dad cooks really well. He sets up the ultimate camps. He ruins hunting partners for me. And then as I transitioned out of hunting, doing a ton of that hunting when I started my own business, when I got into law enforcement, it's really where it shifted. But now being my own business owner, I can hunt multiple seasons. So I kind of transitioned and went all the way away from that. I'm like, man, I only want to backpack hunt. And now, as I'm gaining more experience, really the best isn't here or here, in my opinion. It's somewhere in the middle, because different tags, different terrain, different animals based off of pressure and behavior, I think should be hunted different ways. So this tag, I wanted to make sure that I utilized all of the skill sets essentially that I've gained from experience and then from my dad. And I wanted to be able to hunt from the side-by-side. I wanted to be able to hunt from a pickup and set up a base camp if we needed. I wanted to be able to cover country in the side-by-side or on boots. And we did all of that during the hunt too. And I'm sure we'll get to that. But yeah, I wanted the diversity of it, being able to do it all. Because I feel like that's the best way to kind of maximize what you're getting out of any hunt. It doesn't have to be a special draw tag, but especially in this scenario, like I'm trying to find the one of one with a tag like this, right? I'm not looking for, everybody, you set a number in your head, but it's like, I want to find that bull that's like, yep, that's him instantly. Yeah. Like, that's the bull. And so sometimes, that means I have to backpack in and get further than other people want to get. But sometimes that bull, like elk, are smart. Sometimes he's right under your nose and people walk right by him, so you can find him from a pickup. Yeah. And I saw that in multiple scenarios. Like, they're just smart. So yeah, definitely the scouting side, I used all three of those aspects.
How many days would you say that you put into scouting prior to the season?
Man, I tried to come up with this number like during it, and I felt like it just added too much pressure, so I tried not to think about it. I definitely had spent over 40 days out there, like obviously separated out, but yeah, from July on, there was at least 40 days of, whether that's just an evening glassing session, some of them were full days, multiple night trips, just glassing, covering country. So
I was going to say, if you couldn't come up with that number, I'm sure Keziah could.
Yeah. I'm sure she's got it in the tally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's crazy. And to see that many bulls, like, it takes that much time. Like, there's some spots where I'll go and we would see 40 bulls in an evening. And sometimes you just didn't see that number. But yeah, covering lots of country, lots of days.
So take us to the day before.
Okay. So that stuff happens, and shout out to like my core group of people, like you two, Roger, my buddy Josh Crone, all of these guys, and my dad. All of these guys are people that, because you get a tag like this and you have this like, I want to kill XYZ number. Everyone tells you like, you have to kill this kind of bull or it's a bust. I don't agree with that. It's easy to fall under that pressure. But in all reality in this hunt, like, it's a trophy hunt. It really is. I'm trying to kill a big, super mature bull that not everybody can. And so I'm trying to score bulls like crazy. So you guys were constantly getting videos of bulls leading up to this, like, hey, you think this bull, what do you think he is? Blah, 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 blah. So shout out to you guys, because that led to a lot of like where I wanted to end up. Because those photos and videos get sent out and everyone's like, oh, I think this bull's this big or this big. And
so did you name the bulls?
You have to at this point.
Right? I mean,
you really do. How am I supposed to?
You got to tell some of the names.
I'll tell you, you have to. I don't know how you don't, because in this scenario, like when I'm talking about elk, like what am I going to say? The one that was next to the juniper tree on September 1st at 2025, or the one that's next to the aspen at blah, 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 blah. Like, you can't. Like, you have to name them. The ones that are actually worth.
Was there a big
value.
Sexy in there?
There wasn't a big sexy. So the one bull that really stood out to me, we'll get to another name and another bull, and he's in the film because he needs to be talked about. But the one bull that I really, really wanted to see again, I saw at over like 1.5 miles. He was big, and we named him Swoop. Just the way his whale tails, everything kind of swooped, his antlers, that he had tons of tine length. And so we named him Swoop, and I never got to see him close. Yeah. but he was big.
He's big.
Yeah. So that was the one that was one of the main bulls. And then another target bull, I think I underscored this bull, to be honest. This bull I ended up finding later in the season, but when I found him early, it instantly, like, there's something super cool. So you can judge bulls alone, but the cool part is when you see other bulls next to other bulls, and like a bull walks out and you're like, oh, that's a great bull. That bull's 310. Like, that's a solid bull. That's a great bull. And then another bull walks out, and if that bull makes you go, oh, that's the bull, like, you're instantly like, that's a giant. Like, if I can, that 310 bull, and this is one of them, there's like a 315 class bull, maybe 320, running cows around. This was in September during a scouting session. He's running cows around, just acting like he does. And that's another cool part about this unit is the bull to cow ratio is wild. So the bulls, like, you can almost whistle during the right time of the year, and they're like, I will run you over right now. Like, so he's acting like he does. He's just being a bull, running around, throwing everything with his antlers, raking, bugling, screaming. And this other bull comes out of the timber, and instantly you're like, I could fit that 320 bull inside of him. Like,
that's something.
And and he didn't have great tine length. He had good tine length, but I think, so another thing that I've learned too is a lot of times those bulls that have giant bodies and a ton of mass and are heavy, that tine length kind of gets hidden. And this was one of those bulls, I think, because I saw him later. I think we underscored him. I thought he was going to be like right under 340. I think he was like 360 plus. When I ended up seeing him later. He's really big, wide, super heavy. We ended up calling him wide load. Like, he was a stud. But that was like the bull that was like, oh yeah, maybe we'll go shoot this bull. Like, let's focus on Swoop and see what else we can turn up. But those were some of the names. You have to name them.
You do.
And, you know, you run into two scenarios there, okay? And I think we've all done it. But you run into the scenario where you catch a glimpse of a big animal, and then this really respectable representative walks out. But you know that big one's there somewhere. So you end up waiting and waiting and waiting. I did this last year on a whitetail buck. I saw a really, really good buck, but I only saw him for just a split second. And this other one came out right behind him. That one disappeared. But I sat there and waited and watched this very respectable buck that I would have taken any day of the week, and said, but there's a big one back there. So that's one scenario. Then you've got the scenario where you've got, like you were talking about, you know, you get a little impatient and you shoot the smaller buck, and right as soon as you shoot him, that big one walks out.
I know that people that have happened to.
Yeah. I mean, one of my first mule deer bucks that I shot, I shot him at 75 yards. I was jacked, and he was a little small 4-point. But as soon as I shot, and I'm sitting there, you know, watching him flop over, I catch a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, probably 30 yards away. Big, dark horn, 5x5. And, of course, I have to look back over at that deer and make sure that I did hit him and he is down. Because I was contemplating that one. But, you know, you had that situation, too.
It's funny you say that. I don't know if you know this or not. You'd probably do. I've probably told both of you this story. The hunt before that, I archery deer hunted mid-August, and I did that with my bow. I had patterned some bucks coming into a water hole, and I knew there was two really good bucks. 2 bucks I would have shot. But one of them, I hadn't got a great look at him. Saw him like close to dark. He was a stud. This scenario happens. Matthew sees him coming in. I kind of put Matt in a spot 10, 15 yards away from me in the trees where he can see. And then I'm behind some sage where I can actually get a shot. And I hear Matt. We sit on this water hole for like 6.5 hours. And it's, of course, it's an August hunt. So it's 1 billion degrees out, it feels like, and we're melting. And he tells, all of a sudden I hear Matt get excited. He's like, Chris, big buck, big buck. I'm like, okay, here he comes. I'm behind the sage because I don't have a blind set up and there's no way of being in front of it in this scenario. And I've got everything already pre-ranged. I'm ready to go. Well, it's like 7 minutes and this buck doesn't show up to water. And I know where Matt saw him because I was like, this is the trail they're going to walk down. I know it. And it's like 50 yards from the water. And I'm like, did he see you? He's like, and we're not talking, but I'm like, he's like, didn't see me. I'm like, weird. So like eventually I catch frame coming around the other side. He just kind of did a small half circle. So he's coming around and I laser focused on this buck. And I'm like, that's not the big buck. Like, small, like 4-point. I'm like, one of the bucks I was willing to shoot, but it wasn't the buck that I wanted to shoot in that scenario. Locked in on him, followed him in through these little bits of sage as he kind of goes, and he stops. Yeah. He
was like, well, he's not bad.
Yeah, he stops. Exactly. He stops, goes to take a drink. I draw, stand up, pow, crush him. And all of a sudden I look over to the left and 10 yards from him, walked right behind him was that big, probably 175 class buck in the velvet, just looking like an absolute giant at this point. And of course the buck I shoot's like 145, and there's this.
He's still a good buck.
Yeah, I'm super happy with him. But that big buck just kind of looks over at me, and I'm like, and Matt goes, Chris, you shot the wrong buck. I'm like, thanks, Matt. I see that.
Oh, yeah.
But that is the scenario I didn't want to happen going into this hunt. So it's
you had it fresh on your brain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hunt long enough, you're going to run in both those scenarios.
Yep, it's going to happen.
But when you're hunting trophies like that,
yep.
And I haven't done a whole lot of that. At all, but when you're hunting trophies like that, bound to happen. Time,
man, you got to have time. You got to evaluate them. And so, we can go back to Swoop, and that buck, that bull that it was a bull that I found scouting. So I had a buddy of mine, Josh Crone, with me, and Josh is with me, and we zip out for I think what was going to be. Yeah, we did 2 nights. So we drove out at dark one night. Essentially, slept at the trailer or at the cargo trailer, unloaded the side-by-side, and then went into deep into some country that I know, like I don't ever see people in. And we're headed back there, and we do a little morning glassing, see some bulls, nothing crazy. But I wanted to get way back in there, and it's not super achievable early in the morning. Like this was going to be the evening plan. We were going to sleep next to the side-by-side and then get another morning glassing session and then come out. So we're out there. And we start getting back into that country, and I run into a side-by-side out there. And I've maybe seen like 1 or 2 side-by-sides in this country like ever. And I'm like, that guy's working on his side-by-side. And so we kind of cruise around, get up close to him, and he's got loose lugs on his side-by-side, and they're like a special style of lug. And he's like, I just had rims and tires put on this, and I
know somebody else that happened to, by the way.
Yeah, he's
paracord
like, I didn't
saved my life.
Paracord. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, you do what you got to do in a scenario.
Worked on a truck too once when mine came off.
So this guy's working on it, and he's like, I don't have her. He's like literally trying to use his Leatherman, and that's obviously not happening. And I didn't have the right star key for it or whatever it was, but we both have full toolboxes back at the pickup. I'm like, I know we'll find something. And he's like, I'm pretty sure the lug wrench to this is sitting in my pickup because it's a new set of rims. And I'm like, well, jump in, like, let's go back. And he's like, he's hunting at this point. He had an earlier tag than I did. And he's like, you're going to lose your full day of scouting. I'm like, and you're not going to hunt this tag that you've spent however long trying to draw. Like, jump in, man. Let's go. And so he jumps in. It's a multi-hour side-by-side ride. So he jumps in the back, and Josh and I, and his name's Bruce, we all start zipping back. And this is mid-morning now, and it's probably noon by the time we start to cross this little point. And as we do, we come to this guy that's standing in, like, essentially in the road. And so I'm like, okay. I was always raised like you just stop and talk to people.
This is another guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's another guy just kind of standing in the road. I got Bruce in the side-by-side, Josh with me. Bruce was sitting in the back. So we stopped, talked to him, and it was very obvious he wanted to talk. So he starts talking to us, and we're talking and talking and talking. And I like kept feeling like we got to like just keep talking to this guy. But I was like,
he just
starting to get impatient, and
like
he was
down or something.
Yeah, you could tell he was really emotional. And he's talking about hunting, and he's drew this tag, and but he's not having the success that he wants, etc.
Is he a local guy, or is he out of town?
I don't know, to be honest. But he's talking. We didn't ever get to that point. But I kept feeling like it's probably 15 minutes. I'm like, just keep talking to this guy. But I'm like, me selfishly, I'm like, I'm already trying to help Bruce. Like I want to be able to scout this evening. I drug Josh all the way out of here on one of his days off to help me. And so I'm like, I eventually kind of shush him off, or kind of, I'm like, oh, part ways. And his name's Alan. And so we end up driving off. And I didn't think anything of it. And to be honest, he was kind of in an emotional state. So it seemed like he was like, it was just different. Like the way he was talking, he was just like when we all left, we're like, man, that was weird.
Yeah.
All of us, like, that was just a weird
something
encounter.
Was off a little bit.
Yeah. So just a not normal, like strange encounter. And so we all kind of laughed it off, get to Bruce's pickup, grab some tools, start zipping back, and we make the multi-hour trip back. I get back there, and Alan is still sitting out there.
Same place.
Same exact spot, right by he's got a camp set up right there.
Okay.
And so we stop, and I'm like, here we go. Here comes Alan. Alan's talking to us. And I literally was so impatient at this point. Alan is sitting like right here. The road's right here, right? Alan's sitting right here. I literally turned like this. Like I'm trying to leave. Like he's at my tailgate of my side-by-side. And I still felt like I should talk to this guy for some reason. But I'm like, I've got places to go. Like still got to help Bruce. I still have further to get in than past Bruce. And it's probably 4:00 now. Like we're losing a lot of light. And so we stop. I shut the Vike on and off probably 5 or 6 times during this conversation. Like just telling him, hey, like I'm like trying to give him the hint, like I need to leave. And he's telling us he's got Lyme's disease. And he's been really, really sick. And this is incredible. This guy's telling us when he was doing some scouting, he would literally have to come back and do like an IV drip every 4 hours to help with that Lyme's disease. And then he was telling us the year before he actually drew this tag, and he wasn't supposed to live. Like the doctor gave him
because of the Lyme's disease.
Yeah, like doctor gave him a note, like you're not going to make it. And so Fish and Game, kudos to them, was like, if you do make it somehow, we'll give you a do-over, because he was essentially on his deathbed. And now he's been trying this bee sting therapy, which he said is really working. That's the only reason he was able to hunt, because he was essentially on his deathbed. But he's telling us this, and he's starting to get emotional. And I can remember I'd started and turned the bike off numerous times. And at this point, he starts getting emotional, and I can hear it in his voice. Like now he's like really emotional. Like this isn't just like weird, like he's like ready to cry. And he's sitting back at the tailgate, and I remember him starting to cry and pausing, and he literally goes, guys, I can't do this anymore. He said, I've been thinking about killing myself for a couple of years. And he's like, I can't anymore. I'm done. And I immediately was like, Lord, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I was so selfish. I jump out of the side-by-side, and I circle around, and I just go, Alan, my name's Chris. And I shake his hand, and I turn around, and Josh and Bruce are already out of the side-by-side following me. And I just knew what I'm like, Alan, can we pray for you? And he's like, would you? I'm like, absolutely. So we all sit there and pray for Alan. You got 4 grown men sitting in the middle of this side-by-side trail just crying like babies, praising the Lord. And I'm not kidding you. We, in this conversation, and Alan had talked to us for maybe 20 plus minutes, multiple times, right? Like he's needing something, right? We pray for Alan. He ends that we in that prayer. He gives us all a big hug. We kind of talk for 1 or 2 more minutes, and he's like, I got to go, guys. I got a bull to kill.
He's ready.
Reinvigorated.
He's like, I got to go kill a bull. And he jumps in his pickup, and I've never seen that guy to this day.
That's something.
But I truly believe that I drew that tag literally so that Josh and I could be in that scenario to pray for Alan.
Yeah.
That is the only reason I drew that tag.
Isn't it amazing, man, how the Lord will use us?
Literally. That might have been my whole goal in life, was to pray for Alan one time so that he can pray for somebody else in the future. And
he's never going to forget that.
Man, it was so special.
None of you 4 guys will ever forget that, to Dennis's point. I mean, that's life-changing.
Yeah. It was incredible. Those are, like, God works in the coolest ways.
But I'd say, Chris, though, man, good on you guys for stopping. right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the first to. I'm a very impatient person behind the wheel. I don't know if I would have stopped.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just being transparent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for you guys to stop, take the moment, even though you're on off the switch, right? I get it.
Yeah.
But man, just think of that opportunity the Lord presented for you
absolutely.
guys, right?
He gave me a do-over.
Yeah.
I almost screwed it up the first time.
Right. He gave you a do-over.
That's how important us praying for Alan was in that scenario. It was so important that I think God coordinated me meeting Clint, all of the things that happened in that year. Everything happened exactly how it was supposed to. And all of it happened, always does happen how it's supposed to. Like, God's plan's perfect, whether it's good or bad. That's just the reality. Or good or bad for you, in how you feel in that moment. Like, it is perfect. It's all going to work out how it's supposed to. Like, we already know how this thing ends. And so in this scenario, like, it's so easy to like try to think about like everything coming at you so fast, right? But it's so important to just slow down, I feel like, and really, really see what you can get out of moments. And I really feel like that tag, literally everything that happened. I was in a place after leaving law enforcement and opening up my own business. Like, that was all God doing as well. And so in that scenario, like, I was at a place where I could actually listen to what he needed in that scenario. And that was his doing. Like, he put me in a position so that we could pray for Alan in that scenario. Like, it was so, I don't know, so special. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, it was incredible. And it was cool too. Like, that is something that I will like remember forever and be able to share forever. But it's like the little things like that. Like, Dad always taught me as a kid, like, you just stop talking to people. Like, we just did. It's just what I did. So that's what I knew. Like, I'll stop talking to this guy. Now I felt like I was being pulled to stay there, obviously for a reason. But it was so cool that, like, instantly he's like, I got a bull to kill, guys. Who knows? He might have went and killed a giant.
He might have killed Swoop.
He might have. I didn't find Swoop. You might be right, actually. He might have, because we did. So that's how, continuing on in that story, that's how we find Swoop. So I take Bruce back. Don't have enough time to get to my original plan A spot. So plan B, I know this little glassing point. I'd never even actually glassed from it. But I remember passing it, taking Bruce in, and I'm like, this would be a good spot to see a lot of country. Well, that was the only by the time I dropped Bruce off, it was almost dark. I had an hour left of light, and this spot's 30 minutes. So I was like, I mean, this is an obvious plan. We get there, and I find Swoop, and I don't know, 40 cows probably, and Swoop's big. Yeah, Swoop is big.
Wow. So real quick, so you said you haven't heard from Alan. You don't know who he is or anything. What about Bruce?
Yeah. So Bruce is
keeping up with him.
Yeah, Bruce is an awesome guy. So, of course, Bruce wanted to pay me. He's like, let me pay you. And I'm like, you're not paying me, man. Like, I hope someone would do this for me in that scenario. Like, this is what we're supposed to do as people. Like, we're out here. We have like-minded interests, and even if you don't, the right thing to do, what would Jesus have done there? I know what he would have done. He would have helped Bruce however he could have in that scenario. He wouldn't got tools, whatever it may be, right? And I'm like, that's what you do. Like, you're not paying me. I wouldn't take his money. Well, Bruce gets my phone number. We ended up swapping like addresses. He lives, I think, eastern Idaho. But I told him, I'm like, hey, I live locally here in the valley. I'm like, if you end up needing something when you come back through the valley, just let me know. Here's where I live. Just stop by if you need to drop meat off. And because he had multiple people that had tags out there, I'm like, if you need help storing some meat, here's where I live. Just text me. He's like, oh, thanks, man. So we leave, and at post hunting season, I kept him updated. We talked. He texted me throughout his hunt. They had an incredible hunt. They killed multiple really good bulls with their bows. Cool. We talked throughout my hunt. It was super neat. And then, of course, I get a check in the mail. Like a month and a half later, he's like, just take your wife to dinner. So very, very good dude. Bruce that's awesome. Bruce is a good dude. I've talked to him for a little bit. I need to reach out to him. Yeah. But I haven't talked to Alan. Hopefully Alan's doing all right. I'm sure he is. God obviously had a plan, and maybe he was just got on his way a little further so somebody else could pray for him. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe he needed to pray for somebody else. But
so cool, man. That just tells us, I mean, just as people, just look for those opportunities.
Yeah.
That God puts in front of you, and sometimes he'll hit you in the forehead with a 2x4.
I need that. Like,
I do too.
That's a part of my prayer every time. Like, you make it so obvious, I can't miss it, because I will.
A lot of times I can't do the subtle thing, I just busyness life just takes over. But man, that's important, just to slow down. And and if there's an opportunity, you just never know what he's got planned within that opportunity, or because of that opportunity.
Right. No, absolutely. And it's so easy to get caught up with life and day-to-day things, but it's important to remember to really slow down, remember what's important.
Thanks for sharing that.
Man, it was cool. And the cool part about that, so this was like less than 10 days, I think, before season. So season starts, we find Swoop. 1 billion videos get sent to the whole group about Swoop. Like, hey guys, here's the bull. Like, we got to go get him. And that actually is what sparks where we end up, because I had multiple different parts of the unit and I hadn't decided where we were going to be. I wanted to be mobile. Like, okay, if we got, I think I had a 10-day or 12-day hunt planned. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I think it's 10 days. Yeah, it was 10 days, and I had 3 days before the season I wanted to get out there. But 10 days of like hunting film-wise or something like that. And so I was like, okay, this sets it. This is where we're going. This is where we're starting. We might move. You guys were coming out to help me early. Roger was coming out to help me, and then Matthew. And Matt was there for almost every scouting trip. Like, huge shout out to Matthew. Matthew's like one of the most.
He's the rock.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Literally,
like, he's always there for you.
The least selfish person ever. Like, any time, any hunt, any pack out, spent so much. He was there with me, obviously, when I killed that buck that year, everything. Shout out to him. But we get out there, Matthew and I get out there, we set up camp. I hauled camp in with the side-by-side so we could get a little bit further in there, because it's a long ride. And we didn't even, where we ended up going in wasn't even as far, because where we ended up going in was actually where I stopped and prayed for Alan. That's where I saw Swoop, was on that ridge. So it's like, okay, this is the only access point, where they're the best access point. And I told you guys, I'm like, when you get up here, we're going to pack in for multiple days. And so you guys got up the night before season. I think Roger came up that same day. That day before. Matthew and I got up a couple days before, set up camp. You guys all come up. Clint and Austin get up there to film it. And we have a big powwow and eat some deer steak, I think, the night before. And potatoes. And
I think I slept underneath your cot.
You did. That's right. You did. I forgot about that.
I did.
You literally slept underneath my cot in that sheepherder's tent. Yeah. So
you guys kind of had the Taj Mahal going on up there.
We did. Yeah. I told you, my dad sets up an extravagant camp, and he taught me how to, if I'm sleeping from the truck, we're not doing this the hard way. Like,
that was nice.
Enjoy it.
That was
real nice.
Lights, everything. We're going to make it nice, which we did. And we head in, and that was a rough first couple of days, man. I kind of got, it's such a good reminder. Like, you can draw whatever tag you want. Like, there's going to probably be a point where you still get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality.
We did.
Yeah.
They did. It changed in a hurry.
Holy smokes.
Because it was just a couple days before, you were seeing elk everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
And then what happened when we get up there?
We didn't hardly see anything. We got up there that morning, got to a glassing point, like right at first light, and I saw one 6-point, and he was over a mile away.
Yeah, a long ways away.
And that was the only bull. No cows, no nothing. Yeah. And I've seen second rut activity this time of year in this area. Not a bugle.
Yeah.
Nothing. Dead silent. And it got super hot. And then Roger was super sick. I'm trying to remember. I think Roger had just had surgery 10 days, 2 weeks before that.
Yeah, it wasn't
very long.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't long. He wasn't doing good, man.
No.
Yeah.
He was, maybe he had it after that hunt.
I think it was after he was sick.
That's right. That's what.
But I mean, he was sick.
Very sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pretty much forced him to leave.
He's so tough, and he wanted to be a part of it so bad. He's like, I'm staying, and we're like, we're going to end up packing you and a bull out of here, dude. Like, that's right. And this country's nasty. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Like, yeah, he was not doing well. So I think he took off that morning after that glassing session. You're right. We kind of forced him out because he was not doing well. And obviously, understandably so. His appendix had ruptured.
Yeah, that's a whole nother deal, man. Holy cow. Lucky he didn't die with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seriously.
No, absolutely.
Crazy.
Yeah. The good Lord was looking out for him there. So then we get to a glassing point, and we spent the next, were you guys up there 2 days, right? 2 more days after that
sounds
one.
right.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably something like that. We absolutely scoured that place, and I don't think we didn't see another elk when you guys were there. Not one in this area.
So there was that one that just glanced through really quick. I think you saw it or somebody saw it.
Yep.
And that was it.
That's it.
Yeah. And we didn't even know if it was a bull, that one.
Yeah.
Because it moved through so quick. We're like, couldn't even tell.
Yeah, in a timber pocket.
Yeah.
And we got all that rain that night.
It rained and rained and rained.
And then
next morning
turned to snow.
It turned to snow, and you guys had to head out.
Yeah.
And I am not kidding you. You guys left, and within 3 minutes, I probably could have hit you with a rock still.
Yeah, you're texting, and saying we got a bull.
Yep. Literally, you guys leave, the storm lifted, which this happened. I have experienced this during mid and late season. Like those elk just hunker up in the timber, and you get a little weather that keeps them out longer. Mm-hmm. And this was mid morning. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning or something
it wasn't
like that.
late.
I start finding some raghorns. Nothing great, but I see some raghorns, and then I see one 6-point. And 6-point kind of goes in the timber pocket, and we kind of all sit down, and now everyone's coming out of their tents because everyone's been hunkered up because it's nasty weather. Mm-hmm. I was sitting out there glassing because this is I got to. You're a hunter. Like we're already in here, and so I start calling people out of the tents, and they all come out, and we're glassing, and as we're glassing where that 6-point was, I get a glimpse of another bull, and so I kind of pan over, and instantly it was like, that is not the same bull. Like that was that scenario where we had just seen a pretty decent bull. This is a giant. Instantly, I saw his swords. And I'm pretty sure you're going to hear it in the film during a part. I'm like, yeah, we got to go kill that bull. Mm-hmm. This is the bull that will become known as King Arthur. And this is the bull, when you draw this tag, that's what you're looking for. That's the bull that you're trying to find. And so we see him, and I instantly was like, yeah, that's a giant. So we pack up, we go start to make a move, and I see him at 16 or 1700 yards. There's no play in this scenario, and we've got a nasty storm rolling in, but we got to go after it in all reality, right? So we do, and we get around to the backside, and he had kind of worked up a timber pocket, and I couldn't tell if he went up over the backside of what is now known as King Arthur's Castle. I don't know if he went up over the backside or if he stayed in that timber pocket. And for everybody, the reason he's called King Arthur is because he's got giant swords. I just told you, I've been hunting elk for 17 years. I've never seen a bull with swords like that, in person, ever. Giant. And so I didn't know where he was at in his castle here, but I knew if we got on the backside, we could eliminate that. Well, we get around there, and it was it was probably 3.5 miles of circling around getting into this country, and it's not easy to get over there. Because I think we were already probably 4.5. Does that sound about right to you guys? About 4.5 miles in.
Yeah.
And we had to, maybe 3.5. I can't remember what it was, but we had to go obviously further in than that and kind of circle around to get to the backside. As soon as we get to that backside where I'm like, oh yeah, we're in playing range to try and see them come out in the evening, we get so socked in with fog and snow, you can't see 20 yards in front of you. And we kind of brave it out, and it's almost dark, and I circle around to see that kind of pocket of timber he walked through, and we glass it in the freezing cold all until dark. Nothing. We got snowed on all night. We get back to the tents, and they are just covered in snow. I don't know how much snow we got, but we got a lot of snow, which was not expected because we just went from t-shirts. We were all glassing in t-shirts. That's 80 degrees, and then bam, light switch. Mm-hmm. So we're glassing, gets dark, we head back out. And I knew I was going to have to make that 3.5 mile trek in the dark because I was going to be in position, because where he had come out, there was one spot where I could see this timber is thick, and the topography, you have to be 250 yards from this bull. Yep. You're either 250 or you see him in the one window like I did at a mile. Mm-hmm. That's just it. You got to get lucky, and he's got to come out the right timber pocket. And he's grown big and lived here for a reason.
And you don't have long when you do see him.
And he's come out. The good thing is I'm probably not going to make the same mistake I made during the archery deer season, because when you see his swords, you're not mistaking him. You're just not going to mess that one up. But I knew we were going to have to wake up super early. And I knew how dangerous it was going to be because this country you can get cliffed out in really easy. It's nasty. And we had all this snow on the rocks, and I'm like, I mean, I've got to do it. That's the bull I'm here for. Like, there's no question. I don't even think twice about it. But my real question is, I don't know Clint that well. I'm like, is Clint going to do this in the morning? Like, this is dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's nasty. It's probably single digits when we wake up in the morning. So I make a game plan. I'm like, hey, I'm waking up at like 2:30, and I'm going to try to make the trek around there. It's going to be pretty hairy and pretty dangerous and nasty. Clint's like, yep, see you in the morning. And the plan was to leave Matthew on that glassing point to hopefully see him if I didn't from another angle.
Was thankful of that.
Yeah. So Matt got to
sleep in a little
and bundle up, and I think he still froze his tail off that morning. So we did. Clint is an absolute trooper, man. That guy is the toughest camera guy I have ever seen in my life. Like, we woke up the next morning, and there was a ton of snow, but it was also so cold, both of my boots were froze together. It was miserable. Somehow got them laced together. We make the trek in our red headlamps all the way through this nasty country, and thankfully we were safe. We got to the point that I wanted to get to. I'd have been able to shoot I was like 300 yards or something into that timber pocket, and it was again one of those, it was going to be quick if we saw him. And we sat there till like 10 a.m. and King Arthur did what big bulls do, never showed up, and I froze. That's the coldest I've ever been on the mountain ever. I was miserable that morning. And so we made a trek around, checked the backside, couldn't find him. And I found his tracks and literally mistaked his tracks initially for moo cow tracks, like a smaller moo cow. Like, I was like, oh, here's cow tracks. And then I'm like, no, there's elk scat. Like, that's King Arthur.
Wow.
Big boy. Yeah, and we see another bull that morning that's like right at 300. Pass on that bull. Obviously, I've got King Arthur in mind at this point. And going back to like sharing pictures of this. So my dad, he's a road hunter. Like, grew up. That's how we grew up. We hunted from the road. And we'd hike in a little bit, but we were never staying somewhere. Like, I didn't grow up that way, right? I sent a video of this bull to my dad, and that was the one thing I was bummed about this initial trip. I talked about it to you guys, and I talked about it in the film. I actually told you this, I think. When we first got up there, I said, if I get this chance, I'd rather kill a giant bull in the snow. Like, this is, I mean, like, let's wait till November. That's how I grew up hunting. But anyways, Dad couldn't be there with me, so I sent him a video of this bull, and Dad literally was like, I'll be there tomorrow. And I'm like, Dad, we're backpacked in like 4.5 miles. He's like, you pack my sleeping bag and my pad, I'll be there. I'm like, so we do. He comes in, man. Matt went out, met him, packed all his gear in. Again, shout out to Matt. Packed awesome. Dad's gear in for him so I can hunt the whole next day. And then Dad gets in there. We come back to camp, and it's still cold. Snow's pretty much all gone at this point. But we go to sleep in my Dyneema tent, and Dad's like, what is this? He's like, I can see the stars. This ain't a tent. This don't count as a tent.
Oh, my word.
But it was cool. So we chased after King Arthur for, I don't know, 2 or 3 more days. And this was the point where it was like, okay, now this film blew up into something that's really, really cool. It's kind of, Vortex has put a lot into it. You guys have put a lot into it. And there's lots of other brands that are helping out, Crispy and Black Rifle. And there's a bunch of companies that are doing a lot of cool things, Bergara. And so now I'm like, okay, not only is there this pressure to kill this big bull, but like we need to put together a cool film. And now I know Clint personally. I'm like, I also want Clint to be able to put together a cool film because I care about Clint as a person. And so now I have the decision of, this was not like my scouting. He has not seen the scouting. Right. We've seen 3 bulls in like 6 days, and he hardly got any footage of them. We got some of King Arthur, but that's about it. And I was like, okay, me personally, I'm like, I should stay here for the next 30 days and try to kill King Arthur, and hopefully I get lucky. Like, it's gonna take luck because how thick it is, and there's just so many escape routes. There's a reason he got big. And there's that, or we're still trying to create a really cool film and kind of show this experience and talk about my late season legacy as a family. And so I was like, what do I do here? And King Arthur's huge. but we know this unit based off my scouting. There's other big bulls. I don't think there's very many more at King Arthur out there. Like, I truly don't. But there's other really big, huge bulls in this unit. And so I eventually, after talking to my dad, I was like, no, like, I committed to the film. Like, let's call it. Let's go enjoy this experience elsewhere. So we did. We packed out, hunted with Dad for a couple of days, and then relocated to the other side of the unit. And as soon as we packed out and started hunting from the truck, here's just another example. Like, the backpack hunt, I turned up that giant, but we were more mobile and hunting from the side-by-side, and we turned up way more bulls. Nothing I wanted to shoot, so we passed on a lot of them, but
got some good video, though.
Exactly.
Assume, right?
Yep. So we spent a couple days doing that, and then we relocate to the other side of the unit, and that's when we find the second rut activity. I'm like, what the heck, man? I'm like, just a whole, literally same scenario. Weather's the exact same. It was actually hotter on the other side, but the second rut, like, bulls are screaming. We got into like 400 head of elk. Experienced one of the coolest days of elk hunting I've ever experienced in my entire life.
Wow.
Find a ton of bulls.
Your dad's with you?
Not at this point. Okay. So Grandpa's actually comes out for this trip to begin with, though. My grandpa comes out. We glass up a ton of bulls. This country, to get into those bulls is, again, nasty like the other stuff. We're glassing them from like a mile and a half away. So, of course, Pops is like, yeah, I'm all right. Like, you guys go ahead. He's 73.
Dude, that's 4 generations now involved in this film.
It's so cool.
Wow. That is way cool.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is special. So we zip around, get into this. We find a deadhead that a giant bull in all reality. He tapes like 298. He's missing a second. He's broke up, and I literally can't fit my hand around the base of his fores, like, not beam, the base of his fores.
Wow.
Like, he's big. Just a cool bull. Find this deadhead. Like, man, that was so cool. Probably an old regressed bull, and then get into elk everywhere. Like, pass on a really cool bull that I almost shot just because of the experience. Like, this was not the biggest bull that I've seen. Obviously, it wasn't King Arthur, and it wasn't Swoop class. Like, this is like a 305 bull. And he's just cool. He's kind of a neat bull. He's bugling at like 270 yards. Got cows. There's like literally 40 or 50 other bulls within a mile and a half that are all bugling. Everything is just bugling. Like, I can't even talk to the camera to update people without being cut off by elk. And
folks are going to see this in the film.
Yes, yeah. There's some cool stuff. And so I almost shot this bull just because of the whole experience. Like, that's what I was. This is now I'm starting to realize, like, okay, this is not just about me. Like, this is a cool experience. Like, I need to relish in this. And I made the decision. I'm like, no, you know what? Let's pass. My dad can be with me later on. This was the last day I was up there. I'm like, Dad's going to come back with me in November. So he does. So we pack out that night and then come back for like a quick bonsai trip hunt in November. So Dad and I go up early before everybody else. We set up the Taj Mahal like Dad always does. And then we're glassing, spotting bulls. And it's Matthew, my dad, and I. And we find a bull the day of the camera crew's supposed to be in. And Clint and Austin and Tyler are coming up for the last section of this film. And so we're out there. Oh, and here's the other cool part. Josh was actually going to be able to come up to be a part of the hunt now, too, because he couldn't during the initial. And so we get out there, and I find a really cool bull. And he's a really good bull. He's heavy, wide, split 4 on the left side. And Austin, you still owe me dinner for this, by the way. Austin was running a little late, so the camera crew that was supposed to be there for the evening hunt hadn't made it. And at this point, I'm like 12 days into this film, didn't chase King Arthur. Like, I ain't going to go shoot this thing off camera, right? And he's a great bull, and he's in the perfect spot. And he's 900, 1,000 yards away, but he's just feeding towards this meadow bottom. I know this country, like,
you can get there. This bull's in trouble, yeah. And my dad and Matt are like, we'll film it on the phone skirt, on your all-in, and on the spot and scope. Let's go, you know. Yeah, Matt, because Matt has the same on-glass setup that I have, so he's like, we'll just record it. Let's go. And I'm like, no, we stuck. I committed to this. Let's wait.
So we did. And, of course I teased Austin the whole next day. We get into this country, and, at this point we, hunt all next day, don't find that bull, and we only have this night and then the next day, and then the season's done, right? Yeah. So we get into that same spot, and a bull comes. Nothing. We don't see a bull like 45 minutes before light like we did last night. And I'm like, what in the world? Like, there's no way he got bumped out of here. Don't find him. And a bull crests over the top at like 1,700 yards. And instantly, it was a good bull. We're both like, that's got to be him. And I remember telling my dad like 5 or 6 times, let's confirm it's him. Just wait. Dad's like, it's got to be him. Like, let's go. You've got like literally 15 minutes of light, and we got to cover 1,000 yards. And I'm covering it with you, dude. Like, we have to go. And so I'm like, yeah, you're right. Let's go. And so we zip around there, and we get all the way into position, and it's like a few minutes before dark. Nothing's coming out. I'm set up on the tripod. I'm sat down, like ready to go. Nothing. Couple minutes before last light, bull comes out in the bottom. And I made like the dumbest rookie mistake ever. Like, Dad has always taught me, like, when you get set up in that position, jack a shell in when we're going to be really close. Like this, bulls are turned on, especially at this point. Like the over-the-counter stuff, they're switched on. Like during those late season hunts, they've been hunted with a bow and everything else. So he's like, jack a shell in. And I can literally remember I didn't. And I go to jack a shell in, and that bull looks up at us, gone. And I'm like, you'll see it in the film. I'm devastated. I'm like, I just blew this opportunity. Stand up, walk away. And I'm literally starting to get emotional. I'm starting to tear up a little bit. And I look up, and it like, just up past there, I see an elk. I run back to the rifle, explain where it's at. And I hear Tyler say, yep, up to the left. And I, bam, you hear it. Like, think I crushed this bull. Didn't get it on film. Tyler's like, Clint's like, I wasn't ready. And I'm like, I literally passed on this bull in a way better scenario last night so we could get this on film. Like, what? And he's like, no, Tyler was just trying to walk me in, just a miscommunication. And I'm like, now I'm again devastated. Like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, okay, it's still cool. And so we walk back to the side-by-side, and I remember telling my dad, I'm like, I don't think that was the same bull. He's like, no, it was the same bull. I'm like, Because when he came out, I had no time at like 250. Like, no time. I got to make a decision like now. And I remember just thinking, that wasn't the same frame. Like, that's not the same class of bull. And I have Clint pull it up, and it's definitely not. Like, this bull, I can tell in the film, I'm like, or in the video, I'm like, oh, this bull's like maybe 300, maybe if I get really lucky. And so now I'm devastated. Like, I just made that same mistake, right? And I remember thinking a very selfish thought. I go to bed upset, and I wake up the next morning, and I remember Tyler asking me, he's like, so what are you feeling, Chris? And I said, honestly, I feel like an idiot. I'm like, I feel like I'm a decent hunter, and now this film's gonna go out to everybody, and I'm passing tons of bulls better than this, and now I just make a mistake and look like I don't know what I'm doing, and just shot this smaller bull. And I'm having all these selfish thoughts, and I'm just being real right now. That's exactly how I was feeling. I'm like, I just told him, I'm like, I'm gonna look like an idiot to everybody. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. That's not who I am. I'm not going to say, oh, we're not going to change the narrative of the film. I'm not going to say, I'm like, yeah, last day just filled my tech. I'm not going to do that. It's not who I am. And so I was just being real with him. I'm like, I'm going to feel like an idiot. I'm going to look like a moron. And Josh gets up there. So I even texted Josh that night and was like, hey, don't bother coming. I shot a dink. And he's like, you dummy, I'm going to be there. So he gets up there. We drive out there, and I'm still upset. Like, I don't even want to do this. I'm mad at myself, just mad at the whole world in this scenario. And we get out of side-by-side, and, of course, Clint clips me up with a camera, and I'm like, and he's like, hey, Chris, introduce Josh to me. And instantly I was like, well, yeah, nobody knows about Josh. He hasn't been a part of the film yet. And I'm like, if I hadn't killed this bull in this scenario, Josh wouldn't be here. Like, if I'd killed that bull the night before with the camera crew, Josh wouldn't have been able to make it. I'm like, oh, I'm literally thinking about this for a quick second. I'm like, oh yeah, like if I'd killed that bull the night before, Josh wouldn't have been here. This was when he could make it, was this morning. And I'm like, wow, I was so, it's just like I was selfish in the Allen scenario to begin with. I instantly was like, no, I'm sorry, Lord. Like, this wasn't about me. Like, that bull can be 120 inches when I get up there. I don't care at all. Like, this, I literally instantly was like, oh, this whole film project and this hunt happened so that we could share your grace and what you did in that scenario. And I honestly was like, I'm sorry, Lord. And I started getting emotional and told the Allen testimony. And my dad and I are kind of hugging and crying, and everyone's kind of crying again. And that changed the whole dynamic. I was like, no, I was wrong again. Like, the human side of me was like upset about this. And I'm like, why? Like, this is literally the most special hunt I've ever experienced in my entire life. The most special moment. Like, I've got so many people around me, the people I love that have been a part of this. So we go get in on that bull. And what had ended up happening is I didn't get a range on him, so I didn't dial my dope. And I told my dad that morning, I'm like, I think I hit him low, like super low. Because when I pulled up my app, because I held high essentially on his back, should have been about 6 or 8 inches above that. Once I figured out yardage and stuff. So I was like, I don't know how good I hit this bull. Well, I ended up hitting him low and kind of coming through the brisket. We found him that day alive. And I knew instantly, like, once we got into blood, I was like, oh, we're still hunting. Yeah. We find that bull again, and I put him down pretty quickly. But from that moment on, like that morning, I was like, oh, this isn't about me. And it was the coolest recovery experience of my entire life. Like, we kill that bull, give praise to the Lord. Like, my dad and Matthew and Josh and everyone's just around, and it was so special. And I'm like, like I said, that bull could have been 110 inches. I did not care. I could have shot a spike with that tag. I didn't care at that point. Like, I realized, like, oh, that's not what this was about.
That trophy hunt really was a trophy.
It was.
Just in a different respect.
Correct. Yep. And that is the most, I'll probably never ever top that moment. I might go kill whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, that was the most special experience of my life. And it turned out cool. Like, I kill that bull, we take him back to camp, we don't get him out till dark. And then my wife, my dad, my grandpa, my uncle, like my dad, grandpa, uncle, like, these are the people that I grew up elk hunting with. Yeah. They come up with my wife and my kid the next morning. We all make a bunch of pancakes and eggs and bacon, and there's a bull sitting there, and my 2-year-old kid at the time brings his bow, and he's ready to elk hunt. Like, we're passing that 4th generation of elk hunters.
Pretty special.
It was incredible.
Pretty special.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. What a story, man.
So cool. Yeah. I feel.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Blessed beyond measure, man. It's cool what God's done for me and what he does for everybody. Like, when we started this podcast, I'm like, I want to be able to tell these types of stories, because if God's doing these things for little old me, he's doing it for other people.
Yeah. Or he's using you, to reach other folks.
Yeah.
And very, very special. Yeah. So I guess the film is out.
Yep.
As of this release.
It is. Vortex Nation YouTube channel, and we'll make sure that there's a link to it.
And what's the title of the film?
Late Season Legacy.
Late Season Legacy.
Yep. And it'll be up on their YouTube, and we'll put a link in the description for it for here, and I'll also share the link on my social media when this launches as well.
Yeah, go check it out.
It's cool. God is good.
Amen to that.
All the time.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Until next time, keep your eyes on the summit. This is the Mountain Dude Podcast, signing off.